All right. Hello and welcome to Ironside Sheets slash, Troll Forge, whatever. I will come up with a name eventually and it'll eventually just stick. Oh, that is weird. Anyway, it's just how the camera is looking and it bugging me. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary because it is going to be a movie soon-ish, next year, I believe, 2026. But here's the thing. I'll get to it. What I really wanted to talk about was goal achievement and why being yourself leads to better discipline. So here's the thing, right? You try to act like someone else, you try to do something else, and say, this doesn't work or whatever. And it might not work for you or it might not work for you in that way. So something that I've got to do for my job is to have a good amount of strength and a good amount of endurance because you never know how things are going to go. Not going to say what my job is. It is what it is. Anywho. So I wanted to get into the dub method, which is marked by James, or was mentioned by James Peratt. That's who I heard it from. He is Wild Hunt Conditioning here on YouTube. Not sponsored by him or anything, just what he mentioned. And the idea here is that you try to do an exercise for 20 sets of 20 or 400 reps. So you would do 20 reps, rest a little bit, 20 reps, rest a little bit, until you did that 20 times, 400 reps. I'm in nowhere near that good of shape. I've neglected my legs for high reps for a while. I can squat a pretty decent sized sandbag. I can move my legs pretty well. But for that high endurance, not so good. You can say I skipped leg day. It's okay, I know. Anyway, so I marked down the dub method here in a journal. And this is just to keep track of it. Now, I'm not pushing myself. This was yesterday. This is today. I'm not really pushing the effort. I started off with a few reps, or I'm doing sets of 3, by the way. I did one set. I knew my legs would be kind of creaky because I'd just woken up when I did it. And then I wrote a little bit. That's another thing you can hopefully expect from me is writing, but we'll see how that goes. I did a set of squats. I did 3. I wrote a little bit. Squats, wrote, squats, wrote, squats, wrote, squats, wrote. And when my legs went from, okay, this is feeling good, to creaky again, that is when I was like, okay, done. And I went right back to reading. I also started disliking writing at that point, so I just went to reading, and I'm currently reading A Solitude of Wolverines. I'll get to that book eventually. But the idea here is that that's not a set program, or it can be, but it's not something that you would really see with anyone else. It's me and how I handle the situation. So I decided, hey, you know what? I think this would work a lot better for me. And maybe I'll be able to stick to it for weeks, months. I get bored very easily, but since I'm hitting 3 of the goals that I have, which is 1, to get fitter, always be able to handle your day better. That's what I believe fitness is. Then reading and writing. Those are 3 of the 4 goals. The other one is to learn Spanish. I'm working on that. Go Duolingo. I do know that there have been some problems because now it's focusing on AI generation, but hey, it's better than nothing. Anyway, this idea of cycling between the 3, reading, writing, and exercise, and when the squats got too much, I moved on to push-ups. That's why here you can see I did 3 push-ups. My handwriting is not the best. Deal with it. So I did 17 sets of squats, so 51, and then my hips and legs got a little creaky, like it was too much. I'm like, okay, fine, and I moved on to push-ups. And in just one day, I managed to go from the 17 to the full 20, and from 3 push-ups to 7. Now, can I do more push-ups? Yes, but that's not the point. I'm not really aiming to increase this one. It's more of like to fill the time. And here's the third part of this whole thing. Instead of getting a timer on my phone, which would have incentivized me to pay attention to my phone, which I don't want to do, I have this. It's an hourglass. Cool stuff. Cool beans. And that's what I used. I just flip it, I let it run, and I do as much as I can in that time frame. Is this how you want to do it? Maybe not, but is it something you could implement? Bruce Lee says, or said, because he's, yeah. Anyway, Bruce Lee said, absorb what is useful, discard what is not, and add what is uniquely your own. The dub method, super useful for me. A set program, useless. At least for me. And then, what is uniquely my own? Well, intersperse it with reading and writing. That's something to take into consideration. You may have more discipline than you believe. But a lot of fitness tells you not to trust yourself, and or health or whatever. They tell you not to trust yourself. And obviously, if you're laying in bed all day, not great. If you're eating junk food all day, not great. But you know the basics. You know how to handle yourself marginally well, and you know what are better options than not. So make those choices, make them happen, and see where they take you. And more importantly, make them in your style. Anyway, have a good one.